Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right. So, my umbrella is in the other bag. It wasn't raining when I left the hotel, but I should have known that it could potentially be, and didn't think to put the umbrella in the bag that it would normally be in. So, yeah, that's not great. But yeah, man, just grabbing a bunch of stuff that I need for my meal. I'm pretty dang hungry. Pretty dang sleepy as well. I went to sleep at about 11 o'clock, woke up at 6:01, I guess, 6:01. So I'm looking forward to getting back to my body schedule, my clock schedule, because this whole not sleeping very much, trying to keep up, is a little much for me right now. I can totally see myself eating a meal, getting a shower, eating a meal, and then going to sleep probably till like 9 p.m. and then being up all night tonight. That's kind of how this feels on Christmas Eve. Hope everybody's enjoying their Christmas Eve. It doesn't feel much like the holidays when you have to bury people, man, but that's exactly what it was. Buried my grandfather yesterday, as many of you already know, and I made a video just now talking about how I saw a bunch of pictures. It looked like he was vacationing and having a good time, and I just never had seen that side of him, never knew that side of the man, and would have loved to have known that side of him, and how different it feels to experience him through those pictures than it was to experience him in the times that I interacted with him. Didn't know the version of him that ultimately he showed in the pictures, and would have loved to. So, it's weird when you realize you didn't know a person. You thought you knew your grandpa, but you just knew him, Grandpa Pat. You didn't know him in the streets. You didn't know him when he was on vacation. You didn't know him with the ladies. You didn't know, you know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot. So that's what I came to understand, seeing pictures from eras that didn't have Grandpa's label attached to it. Just helped me understand that I didn't know the person. So I don't know, man. It was interesting. I had a good time for the most part. In fact, for a majority of that, I had a really good time. But as I was telling you on the last video, I just had a hard time with my stomach on the trip because of stuff I knew I shouldn't have ate on the way there. Taco Bell and cookie, that kind of, I shouldn't have eaten any of that. That's not how my body likes to move, especially with some of the issues I've been having over the last week or so. It should not have been done, but I can say my stomach feels 100% right now, so there's no pain. I'm looking forward to eating, hungry, but the food that I had yesterday at the repast was great on the gut. And I had a pomegranate. I bought a pomegranate with me last night, or on the trip, so I ate that last night and was really happy I had it. And so, yeah, man, it's nothing to really say that I want to add. I just had a really great time with my uncle. I'm going to visit tomorrow his house in Inglewood, eat some gumbo, probably watch the game there. So if I'm not available to do my Lakers stuff because of it, that's just what it is. But during I don't like missing too many games, but yesterday I had to miss a good portion of that game. I still gave my commentary to it, and that'll probably be how that goes tomorrow. I think that's probably how that goes. So it is time for family, time for healing. My uncle's only going to be in town for the rest of the week, so probably be in my best interest and best show to soak up that time, man, and be there with him. But I had a great time with the Wallers family. That's my grandmother's family, and they were awesome, wonderful human beings, big family, God-fearing family. Share a lot of values with them, and that was really great. Just once again being in their presence, and spending time with them, eating with them, spending time with my Uncle Merle. I talk about my Bible study a lot. I was able to put a face to the Bible studies because I hadn't really been around him, Merle and his wife, but talked to him every week for the last year. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it was great to be able to have breakfast with them this morning, and just chat and meet their daughter Camille and all of that good stuff, man. It was just a really good, refreshing time to not only be in the presence of family and celebrate my grandfather's life, but to also just be away from Los Angeles, smell some fresh air, look at some skylines, Look around here, it don't look like that. it don't ski none of that stuff that we saw out there. You can see clear blue skies and, you know, land, like country land, countryside type stuff. Ain't gonna see none of that around here. Everything's buildings, everything's built. And so I prefer the city, but it is great to get away from the city for a couple of days and refresh and be around good people and get back to it. So that's kind of what this is, man. I move out of the room on Friday. It's what, Tuesday today? So we'll do the Christmas thing and then do the motel thing, and I'm just like, you know, very thankful, very refreshed, ready to get back to it. It's not like I'm dreading this upcoming cycle this week. I feel a lot better about it than I did most of the others because of what it is I just enjoyed and endured at the same time. Bittersweet indeed, man. So, you know, there's a lot of things that came about in that situation. Reading the what is my phone doing? Some nonsense. I don't think it stopped the video though. But reading the obituary, and you know, it's tough, man. I'm not gonna even pretend it's tough because my grandfather met my grandmother when he was a teenager. My actual, you know, blood grandmother, before he was with my grandmother, who ultimately is my uncle's mom and my auntie Cheryl, rest in peace, mom. And so I don't really know what all went on there. I don't know if the story went the way I was told. I don't know nothing. But it's almost like they discarded of my mother in the obituary. Like, they put her on the end, but they didn't say he had a child while at Berkeley, and then after leaving Berkeley went and married Maddie and they started their family. They completely overlooked that. They did not put that in there. And I didn't, you know, it's a lot of different things. Like, my family treats me like family. I don't doubt that. Nobody's ashamed of me. They don't treat me like I'm a weirdo. They don't treat, but I don't really know how to look at that, because it's like, all right, well, my mother was a wonderful person, very close to her father. Are we lesser human beings because we're quote unquote bastards? And if so, am I not to hate that? You know what I mean? Like that. And I felt like, as they were reading the obituary, one of my cousins was very uncomfortable sitting next to me reading that. Like, I could sense his uncomfort. Because they all knew my mother. They all loved my mother. They knew how bright of a person she was when she walked in the room. She was like the Wallers, personality-wise. She was very beautiful, that kind of thing. So it was like, how are we not mentioning Barbara? How are we acting like Barbara wasn't here? And she's no longer with us, just like Dad is. So I didn't know how to feel about that. A part of me felt like they were just trying to protect his legacy, because maybe there were some things about that situation that I don't know. Maybe it didn't go down the way they said it was. Maybe he was already with Maddie. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Maybe they weren't told the story that I was told, or what, you know what I'm saying? Who knows? I don't know who knows what. But I definitely felt like they were trying to protect his legacy, and my mom's existence and my existence was somewhat of a stain on that legacy. You know, they didn't put Deloney in the obituary for my name. My name is Brandon Deloney Fulmer, BDF. That's what the D is for. They wouldn't call me Deloney. So it's like, I know I'm not someone they should be proud of as it pertains to, you know, having to pay for my life right now and different stuff like that. They are paying for it, so it's not like I'm unhappy or being discarded of. But I don't really know how to look at that. It's like, if I'm to be unselfish, maybe protecting my grandfather's legacy, maybe this has a lot to do with it, because it's not about what things are, it's about how they seem in the world that a lot of people are in, especially in American, you know, world where people stand, you got to be married, or people think you're weird, that kind of thing. In that world, when you read a person's obituary, you don't want to hear, hey, this person had a child out of wedlock, this, that, and the third, cheated on his wife, and it was found, ended up have a child, left that child. Like, those things don't read well, and I respect that. And if I'm gonna be unselfish and not be so having everything revolved around me, I too would probably want my grandfather's legacy protected in the presence of that for which he would want to respect him. Now, whether or not I desire that respect from that particular type of individual or not from myself, it's irrelevant, but it's him in the world that he's from. Maybe it was a shame that he had a child before he married Maddie and it was out of wedlock. And you know what I mean? He was like 15 years old. Maybe it is in his world something that probably should not be said in his obituary. And just because I happen to be a product of that existence, maybe I don't feel no negative way about that if I'm trying to be unselfish. So I don't really know how to take that. I was very hurt by that, but I don't know that it wasn't a welcome thing when you consider this is a military man, and this is, you know what I mean, he was a decorated with military man. There are certain things that need to not be spoken about, his transgressions, maybe, you know what I mean? And I'm not the only person who experiences this, but what I can say is this is kind of like probably what further makes me not really like just the whole way America is really set up. For the presence of we're gonna look good while doing things we have no business doing, instead of disciplining ourselves against things we have no business doing or telling the truth about those things. That's the guise of the world we're in. That's the way this country kind of operates. We're horrible, and we trust that we're the greatest people in the world in the eyes of those we lie about ourselves to. I'm a great antithesis to that type of upkeeping, of doing things. Either you're gonna discipline yourself against stuff you don't have any